allow me to ask a question that may be uncomfortable, but is necessary. The person you love, the person who occupies your thoughts and your dreams, are they real? Or have you, without realizing it, fallen in love with a reflection, a perfect echo of your own deepest desires, a phantasmagorical projection onto a human face? If this question sends a shiver down your spine, if it touches a place of doubt you have been bravely trying to ignore, know that its timing is no accident. Starting today and culminating this August 1st, a rare cosmic architecture is being erected in the heavens, and its effects are already being felt here on the sacred ground of your heart. This is not an event to be feared, but an invitation for the brave. Venus, the goddess of love, of beauty, and of what we value most, and Neptune, the master of dreams, of spirituality and of illusions, are conspiring. Together, they are opening the entrance to what can only be described as the Labyrinth of Mirrors of the heart. Imagine a sacred hall, built from the mist of dreams where every wall is a mirror. Some of these mirrors are crystal clear, showing the raw and naked truth of your soul and your relationships. Others, however, are treacherous. They distort reality, showing a seductive reflection of what our needy soul most yearns to see. And still others are like water, where the image is always changing and nothing is as it seems. This labyrinth is being activated now, within your love life, in your finances, and in your relationship with your own worth. This is not a punishment. It is a divine test of authenticity. It is a gift of clarity disguised as confusion. The universe, through Venus, is asking us the ultimate question. Do you have the courage to walk these corridors and discover which reflection is the true one? For at the center of this labyrinth, for those who dare to enter, there is no monster waiting. There is a priceless prize: clarity, the ability to finally see yourself, the other, and love with eyes that can no longer be deceived. The definitive end to the cycles of disillusionment. Most people will only feel the confusion, will blame the world, and will remain outside, lost in the fog. But not you. If you are hearing this, it is because your soul is ready for the truth. The door is opening now. To know if you have been called into this labyrinth, you just need to look within. The symptoms are unmistakable, not in the logic of the mind, but in the language of the soul. They manifest as a subtle mist that begins to blur the edges of your reality. The first symptom is an overflowing sensitivity. Have you been feeling emotionally on edge, moved to tears by a song, a movie scene, or a distant memory of a love that perhaps never even existed? If the barrier between you and the world seems to have become thinner, more porous, know that you are not becoming weak or unstable. You are becoming more receptive to the echoes and whispers coming from the walls of the labyrinth. Your soul is being tuned to the frequency of Neptune, the frequency of universal feeling, of dreams, and of compassion. This leaves you vulnerable, but it also opens you up to a deeper connection with the truth. The second symptom is the refuge in fantasy. Do you find yourself adrift in daydreams, creating perfect scenarios in your mind about a relationship, replaying conversations that never happened, feeling the euphoria of an idealized future with someone? This romantic escapism is one of the main signatures of this transit. The fantasy becomes so seductive, so satisfying, that reality begins to seem gray and disappointing in comparison. This is one of the most dangerous mirrors in the labyrinth, the one that shows you a reflection so perfect that you forget you are looking at a mirror and not a window. It is from there that the symptoms begin to manifest externally in your relationships. Do you recognize yourself in the pattern of extreme idealization, that process of placing a person, whether a current partner or a love interest, on an untouchable pedestal. You focus so much on their light that you refuse to see the shadows. Do you find yourself defending or justifying behaviors from them that you would never accept from anyone else? Do you build a narrative in your head about who they are, your soulmate, your savior, the one who finally understands you? A narrative that, if you are brutally honest, doesn't fully correspond to their actions and words in the real world? This is Neptune's spell in action, weaving a glamour around another person. This leads directly to the next symptom, a kind of selective deafness. Your closest friends, those who love you, may have tried to give you a warning. Your own intuition, that calm, deep voice in your core, may have whispered that something is not right. But the melody of the fantasy is so loud, the desire for the dream to be real is so overwhelming that you become deaf to the truth. You ignore the warning signs, the inconsistencies, the small acts of disrespect, treating them as exceptions, not as the rule. And finally, the most painful symptom, the crisis of values. In your search for this ideal love, for this transcendental fusion, you begin to lose yourself. You look in the mirror and barely recognize yourself. What was important to you before this person? What were your hobbies, your dreams, your boundaries? Neptune's energy can be so all-encompassing that it dissolves not only the boundaries between you and the other, but the boundaries that define who you are. Each of these symptoms, the sensitivity, the fantasy, the idealization, the deafness, and the crisis of values, are not your enemies. They are the markings on the map of the labyrinth. They are the riddles that the mirrors present to you as a test. They do not arise in your life to trap you, but to free you. They force the pain of the illusion to become so acute that you will have no other choice but to finally seek the truth. If your heart is resonating with the symptoms we described, the next question your logical mind will ask is, why? Why is this happening now? Is the universe cruel? Why do I need to go through this confusion and pain? The answer is the key to transforming this transit from an ordeal into an initiation. This is not random chaos. It is a divine intervention, meticulously orchestrated. It is a cosmic conspiracy for your evolution. And the conspirators are Venus and Neptune. Think of Venus not just as the goddess of romance, but as the supreme guardian of your worth. Her mission is to ensure that you align with the love, the beauty, and the prosperity that are truly worthy of your soul. And she has seen, with her eyes of wisdom, the areas of your life where you have settled for less, where you accepted a love that did not nourish you, where you pursued an image of success that was not yours, where you looked in the mirror and did not see your own unconditional worth. So, Venus did what a powerful guardian does when the truth needs to come to light. She summoned the master of dissolution, Neptune. She asked Neptune to bring his sacred mist not to drown you in illusion, but to dissolve the illusions you have built and that keep you prisoner. Neptune's mist is not here to blind you, but to blind you to all that is false, so that when it dissipates, only the truth can remain. The secret purpose of the labyrinth is not to get you lost, but to force you to find the only thing that is real, yourself. Understanding this purpose is what separates the initiates from the lost. Most people, right at this moment, are feeling the effects of this transit and are making a completely wrong diagnosis. They feel the disappointment and blame their partner. They feel the financial confusion and blame the economy. They feel the emptiness and seek to fill it with a new distraction, a new purchase, a new fantasy. They will do everything to avoid the discomfort, to fix the exterior without ever looking at what is happening on the interior. They will remain outside the labyrinth, afraid to face their own reflections in the mirrors. They will choose the apparent safety of the path they already know, without realizing that this path is a circle that always leads back to the same point of disappointment. They will live in a gray landscape of lukewarm relationships and postponed dreams, repeating the same patterns with different people, believing that the fault always lies with the other, with the world, with bad luck. By refusing the invitation to enter the labyrinth, they not only avoid the uncomfortable truth, they give up the prize. They lose the chance to experience a love that doesn't need illusions to survive. They lose the opportunity to build a sense of worth that doesn't depend on anyone's validation. They choose the anesthesia of fantasy instead of the medicine of reality. But you are not here by chance. The fact that you are hearing this message, that it is resonating somewhere deep in your being, is already the sign. It is proof that your soul is no longer content with the superficial. Your soul is hungry for that which is real. And why does Venus demand this truth from you? And why now? Because the universe is trying to promote you. You are being prepared for a next level of love, of prosperity, of self-expression. But you cannot take the baggage of old illusions into this new territory. This labyrinth is the soul's customs. It is a mandatory checkpoint where you must leave behind all emotional contraband, the attachments to those who don't value you, the fantasies about who you should be, the lies you have told yourself to survive. Think of all the times you have looked to the sky and asked for true love, all the times you have meditated asking for clarity, all the times you have felt in your bones that there should be more to life than this. The labyrinth is not happening to you. It is happening in response to you. It is the universe answering your prayers in the only way it can, by helping you remove everything that stands in the way of what you truly asked for. Therefore, this is not a moment of punishment. It is your graduation moment. It is your opportunity to prove to yourself and to the cosmos that you are ready to stop playing with shadows and to claim the substance. The door of the labyrinth is open before you. The choice to enter, to walk bravely through its mirrored corridors, and to claim your prize is yours, and it must be made now. The 4 sacred keys for your crossing are waiting. If you have made it this far, it is because you have chosen courage. Now it is time to give you the tools for your crossing. These are not magic formulas, but tools of power, compasses for the soul, blades to cut through the mist of illusion. For them to work, they require your presence, your active participation, and above all, your radical honesty. The first key, the diary of raw truth. Neptune's mist mixes facts and feelings until they are indistinguishable. This key is designed to brutally separate one from the other. Take a notebook, your diary of raw truth. Draw a line down the middle of the page. In the left column, write facts. On the right, stories and feelings. In the facts column, you can only write what is observable, what a security camera would record. He said he would call and didn't. She didn't introduce me to her friends. I paid the bill 3 times in a row. Be brutally objective. No interpretation. Next, in the stories column, write the narrative your mind tells about these facts. He didn't call because he doesn't care. She doesn't introduce me because she's ashamed of me. I always pay because I'm afraid they will leave me if I don't. By doing this for a few days, a shocking pattern will emerge. You will see in black and white the abysmal distance between reality and the narrative you feed. You will realize that much of your suffering comes not from the facts, but from the stories you tell yourself about them. This diary is your first blade. It cuts the illusion at its root. The second key, the oracle of silence. Now that the noise of the mind is on paper, it is time to access a deeper wisdom. The voice of fantasy screams. That of your intuition whispers. This key is your amplifier for the whisper. It doesn't require a pen, but 5 minutes of your uninterrupted time. Sit in silence and close your eyes. Think of the person or situation in question and ask a single question to your body, not your mind. Does this connection expand me or contract me? The answer will not come in words, but in physical sensations. A feeling of openness and expansion in your chest, a relaxation in your shoulders, a warmth in your heart. That is a yes from your inner oracle. On the other hand, a contraction in your stomach, a tightening in your throat, a sudden tension, that is an unequivocal no. The mind can be deceived by promises and fantasies. The body responds only to the vibration of truth. Practice this daily. This is your infallible compass for navigating the labyrinth. The third key, the mirror of self-sufficiency. Often we get lost in the mirrors of others because we seek in them a reflection we cannot find in ourselves. We seek in another person the validation, the security, and the love that we have failed to cultivate internally. This key turns the mirror back to you. The exercise is simple, yet profound. Go to a real mirror, look into your own eyes, and connect with the soul that dwells there. Breathe and ask out loud, what am I waiting for? Person's name to give me that I'm not giving myself. The answer could be unconditional love, validation, security, permission to relax. After identifying what you are projecting, the second part of the key is the action. Ask yourself, how can I today, in a small and concrete act, begin to give this to myself? If the answer was validation, validate your own achievements. If it was security, create a safe environment in your home. This key dismantles the mechanism of neediness. You stop being a beggar seeking love and become the source. And when you are the source, the mirages of the desert lose all power over you. The fourth key, the decree of sacred boundaries. After clarity comes power. This key is your declaration of sovereignty. Take a new sheet of paper. This will be your sacred decree. At the top, write in capital letters, I no longer accept. Based on what you have discovered, list all the behaviors, energies, and dynamics that you will no longer allow in your life. Be specific. I no longer accept inconsistency between words and actions. I no longer accept justifying someone's lack of respect. I no longer accept abandoning my own needs to please the other. Continue until you feel your list is complete. This is not a document of anger, but of sovereign clarity. When you are finished, read it out loud. Feel the vibration of power in your voice with each sentence. This is not a request to the universe, it is an order. Keep this decree in a place where you can see it every day. This decree is the new energetic fence around your heart. It does not prevent true love from entering. It prevents illusion from even approaching. It is your final declaration that you are ready only for what is real. Breathe deeply. Feel the quality of the silence that now occupies the space where there was once the noise of anxiety and confusion. It is not an empty silence. It is a full, resonant silence, the stillness found at the center of a temple. Feel the lightness in your shoulders, not as the absence of a burden, but as the presence of a new strength that lifts you from within. What you are feeling is the energy of your own truth, finally untangled from the projections and fantasies of others. The potion of July, with all its intensity, and the mist of August, with all its illusion, were not discarded. They were honored, understood, and their purest essence has been integrated into your being. The wisdom gained in this labyrinth is no longer an intellectual concept, but a frequency that now emanates from you. It is safely stored in the sanctuary of your soul, not as a memory, but as a living and permanent part of your energetic constitution. But understand this, Traversing the labyrinth once does not make you immune to the mirrors of the world. Life will continue to present you with reflections, for that is its nature. The crucial difference, your great victory, is that you now possess the keys. You will never again walk these corridors empty-handed. The maintenance of your clarity is an ongoing commitment, a practice of sovereignty. When doubt arises, revisit your diary of raw truth. When confusion tries to set in, practice the oracle of silence. When neediness knocks on your door, look at yourself in the mirror of self-sufficiency. And when the world tries to sell you an illusion, reread your decree of sacred boundaries out loud. These are not just tools for a crisis. They are the daily practices of one who has chosen to live an awakened life. You have done the work. You have faced the shadows. You have honored the process and claimed your truth. And the difference will be felt not just tomorrow, but in all the weeks, months, and years to come, in every choice you make from this place of power and clarity. If this journey through the labyrinth has resonated with you, if you have felt the shift in your own energy and are ready to live on the other side of the mirror, show your support and anchor this transformation. Like this video, share it with someone you know who is lost in their own labyrinth, and leave your testimony in the comments. Declare your victory with the phrase below, so that your community knows you are one of those who found the way out. I choose true love. And don't forget to subscribe so we can continue to navigate these powerful cosmic journeys together.